I refer you to our text that we just read from Revelation in verse 15. And anyone whose name was not found written in the book of life was thrown into the lake of fire. Now there we go. The lake of fire appears 5 times in Revelation. And that is what most of us think of when we think of hell. But it is not hell. It is the lake of fire. But wait, isn't that what we think of when we think of hell? An infernalist, everlasting torment in the lake of fire? Perhaps, but it is never called hell. Hell is something else. The Bible uses basically 3 words that we associate with hell. Hell, or Sheol, Hades, and Gehenna. Along with Sheol comes is the pit. And let's briefly look at all 3. First of all, there is no hell in the Old Testament. None. We do read about Sheol and the pit, which kind of sound like hell, and some English translators and interpreters try to make it about hell. But let's look at Psalm 130 as an example. It's through the Psalms regularly. I will extol you, O Lord, for you have drawn me up and did not let my foes rejoice over me. O Lord my God, I cried to you for help, and you have healed me. O Lord, you brought up my soul from Sheol, restored me to life from among those gone down to the pit. That's it, okay? Sheol can mean the depths of the sea or the deep beneath the surface of the earth. Both Sheol and the pit refer to the underworld. Remember, the ancients lived with a flat earth cosmos. Heaven and life were up, and the underworld and death were down. The main meaning of both Sheol and the pit is death and the grave, not a place of eternal torment, the hell we commonly think of. Sheol refers to Hades, not hell, which brings us to Hades. Do we think of Hades as the same thing as hell? The words are sometimes used interchangeably in English. Hades is hell, right? Hell is Hades? Are they interchangeable? Not so much according to Scripture. Hades, literally, is the mythological god of the dead and the king of the underworld. His 3-headed dog, Cerberus, guards the gates of Hades. Question, hang on, why does Hades need guarding? Are there a lot of people trying to get in there? I just don't understand why he's got a guard dog. That's strange. It's strange, but then again, plenty of ugly junkyards have junkyard dogs keeping people out. But here's the thing. Hades is the Greek word used to translate Sheol from Hebrew. Hades is Greek for Sheol. In the Greek translation of the Old Testament, called the Septuagint, done about 200 BC, the word Sheol, written to Greek, is always translated to the word Hades. Its main meaning is death and the grave. So like Sheol, Hades does not mean the hell we're talking about. It does not mean hell. There is one instance in the whole Bible where it sounds a little bit like hell. And I'm going to explain it because some of you are smart enough to challenge me with this later, and I want to get ahead of you. And that is the parable of Lazarus and the rich man from Luke 16. We get this line where it says, the rich man was in Hades, where he was being tormented, and looked up and saw Abraham far away with Lazarus by his side. Now let me explain. In Second Temple Judaism, the underworld, Sheol, or Hades, was understood to be divided. The underworld was split up. There were good neighborhoods and bad. And when you died, your body was put underground and your souls resided somewhere in the valleys of the underworld. But nice people, righteous people like grandma and grandpa, don't await the general resurrection in the same place as wicked people, rotten people. Okay? So one of the nice valleys, it's reputed, was called the bosom of Abraham. That's one of the nice neighborhoods of the underworld. Lazarus was there. The rich man was across a chasm in torment. And this was another part of Hades, the bad side of Hades. This assumption, that picture of the underworld, of Sheol, Hades, was the normal backdrop in which Jesus taught and instructed people and illustrated this parable, which is about God's justice. Jesus is not giving us a description of the afterlife. This is about God's justice, the parable. And this verse is unlike any other reference to Hades. So we conclude, Hades is not hell. It is, like Sheol, just the underworld, the grave, the place of the dead, not the eternally tormented.